Hello, this is Pastor Rick, and I want to welcome you to the Sunday Forum, this Table Talk special, Table Talk edition this summer, as we lift up a very wonderful topic, which is the topic of art and the spirituality behind the art, both here at church and in our homes. But before we take a tour, we're going to go out to the East-West Gallery at the Mercado. Before we take that tour, let me just lift up how important the whole topic of art really is. And we know that here at Emmanuel because we have art scattered throughout the whole church. We know the beautiful windows in the sanctuary, but we also have a little art collection in the hall that maybe some of you have missed. In the media center, of course, we have these wonderful paintings and collection by Hachi, the Chinese painter. And if you go in the Chapel of the Resurrection, we have that beautiful painting of the crucifixion of Jesus that was done live in our Good Friday service 2 years ago. And so art is important not only here at church, but in your home as well. And here's the idea behind our topic today. God has created the world, and God has not left God's self without witness in that world. So it's important to train our eyes and our heart to be able to look at the world and see God's hand at work. And that's true in art as well. Where is God in the painting? Where is God in our artwork? And again, we want to say that's the artwork both at church, can we see God at work? But also, where is God in the artwork that you have in your home as well? So we're going to ask those questions today, but we're going to ask an expert, Olga Archangelskaya. She owns the gallery, and she has a special take, and a special gift to teach and to train us to see God in the painting. So let's go on our tour now to the Mercado to visit Olga at the East-West Gallery. Well, here we are at the Mercado at the East-West Fine Art Gallery, and we want to go in now and visit with the owner, Olga Archangelskaya. Let's go in and visit with her right now. First of all, Olga, we're just thrilled that you have welcomed us here in this beautiful space, your East-West Gallery here at the Mercado. So thank you for welcoming us and showing us some art and teaching us about the spirituality behind that art.
I'd like to welcome people of Emmanuel to our gallery, East-West Fine Art, and point out that we regard our activity not as a business, but rather as a service to our community. Business is mostly aimed at profit, and we aspire to aim our activity to beauty.
And we're going to start right in front of this beautiful piece. One can see already that it is a biblical theme, Jesus with the woman at the well. What can you tell us about this beautiful painting?
I think the painting is speaking for itself. You see the scene of Jesus Mary meeting the woman of Samaria, and she's offering him a water. In his turn, Jesus tells that he is able to give her the water that will never make her thirsty, but will always be inside her.
Now, if you look closely at the painting, you can see a little bit of her internal life being mapped out in this dystopia, this scene of destruction, and very dark on the top, and you can see that there's light, almost like clouds have entered into the well here, light and darkness. What can you tell us about that?
As you can see, the sky is there, so the whole picture of the world without faith is upside down. And here in the center of the painting, we'll see Jesus Christ dominating the scene and harmonizing the future, the bright future of faithful person and the darkness of person who live without religion.
So there is part of how do you read God? Where is God in the painting? Here you can see this light and dark, life with faith, life without faith, all interpreting this wonderful story of Jesus meeting the Samaritan woman. Let's now move over to another piece in your gallery that's a little more difficult to read, I think.
But we will try.
Okay, Olga, now you brought us to a second work by this contemporary artist, Stanislav Butenko. This is a little bit more difficult to read, but always asking the question, where is God in the painting?
Before talking about that, I'd like to ask, what is beauty? And where is beauty in the painting? As we can all assume, beauty, nothing beautiful actually can be created without love and without God. And contrary to the cliche, beauty is in the art of the beholder, I would say that beauty is in God's presence. By the way, in your latest book, 8-Day Discipleship, you quote Paul in his second letter to Corinthians. If anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. This is true to any work, and especially to creative work, and especially to the work of art, which cannot be created without presence of God. What do we see on this painting? And this is contemporary artists. So even in contemporary paintings, God is always in presence. Stanislav Butenko depicts a figure, man figure sitting in front of us in deep thought. How do we know that this is Jesus Christ? And
well, there's certain stylized, I mean, the first thing is you see the staff, right? And we've got that stylized face, hair, and beard, and the robes, of course, that don't seem placed appropriately within this destruction, this difficult scene. Am I right?
You're absolutely right, because Spirit talks to us in paintings through symbols. Symbols are very, very important in our lives, and especially in art, because symbols transcend our brain, our mind, and speaks directly to our personal subconscious, and then through personal subconscious to collective subconscious, which connects to Spirit, Holy Spirit.
So what religious symbols should I be picking up here? I mean, I see a little bit, again, his light and darkness he's playing with again.
You're absolutely right.
Jesus possibly is the good shepherd with a staff. And we talked before, we also have some things here in the bottom. We have, it looks like time is being destroyed. Maybe is that the Bible? I don't know. And we've got money here as well. So are those all religious symbols, or what kind of symbols are they?
We create symbols, obviously. There are historical symbols, biblical symbols, and there are symbols of our time, like money. This is the symbol, this is the God we worship. And this is the symbol of our vanity, and the symbol of what we associate with our happiness and wealth, rather than spiritual wealth. Then there is a symbol of our industrial might, which is absolutely destroyed. Again, symbol of our pride. Then you see the skyscrapers, higher than Tower of Babylon. Again, the symbol of our pride and false mightness. And here is symbolic Jesus Christ is in his very simple humbleness, which is the symbol of real power and majesty.
So with Jesus' presence as, I'm going to say, the Good Shepherd here, do you feel when you see his painting hopeful or sad?
I think everybody would agree that there is a hopeful painting. There is no darkness in it. Obviously, the darkness is in the bottom of the painting. But more than half of the painting is light, and the light is coming from the east. And it's a dawn, and the dawn at the beginning of new day, of new faith, because as you can see, everything is destroyed. All our fetishes are destroyed. The only thing that survived is Holy Bible. And this is a symbol of new beginning, of new faith, and obviously it's a book. And the words come to our mind. In the beginning was a word.
So here we have really a picture of new beginnings. And so when we ask the question, where is God in the art? Here we get some hopefulness. It's with color, light, and darkness. It's with religious symbols, which I think are easier to read. And so I think I want to go to one final painting that you want to show, where the religious symbols in the painting are maybe a little bit more difficult to read. We want to go over to this last painting right now. Okay, Olga, you're showing us now a third painting, and we're constantly asking the question, where is God in the painting? And before we've had some obvious religious symbols, now we've got nature. So, Olga, where is God in this painting?
Nature in itself is a language of God. And this is again the painting by contemporary artist Victoria Luolina, also from Moscow. Forest itself has been always a spiritual place for ancient people. Also the place where they hide from all the elements of the nature and enemies, and the place which in itself presents certain dangers from wild animals, snakes, bugs, you name it. Moreover, the trees in ancient culture has been always associated with certain powers, like birch tree will always heal and calm. The oak tree is a symbol of might and strength. Maple tree is a symbol of longevity, generosity, and stability, balance. Here on the painting, we see the autumn landscape. I think it's very close to everyone who lives in Naples. It's our golden years.
Not everyone, but most. Yeah.
Most. The golden years that we celebrate here in Naples. What else do we see here? Everything else is open to interpretation. I will just offer the one that I see. You can see in front of the painting, it's actually not the front, a little bit foreground, 3. Isn't it a religious symbol? It's a Holy Trinity, and always there is a certain words come to mind, and I will quote it. 3 from Matthew. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am here among them. So the tree, 3 of the trees, could represent the faithful people gathered together.
It's community.
It's community.
Basic Christian community, or family, right?
Or family, or 3 generations. Then there is in the background, you see the water. And the water is also a religious symbol. It's a symbol of purity, and it's the symbol of holy water, and a symbol of living water, which is faith, like we saw in the previous painting. And lastly, if you look at the painting, in the center of the painting is where the light is concentrated. It's the young underwood. So the focus of the work, and again it is my interpretation, in the youngsters. They are not seasoned yet like these old trees, and their severe winter tests are awaiting them. How they will come out of this test, we don't know. But let's not forget that they're standing by the river, and the river will help them. And we hope that next spring they will be stronger and more beautiful than now.
So once again, we see nature being its own religious symbol, as you've kind of helped us take a look at issues of light and darkness and where the light is focused, about community. These 3 elements of trees, but also those young sprigs, where are they going to make it? There is some hope there, isn't there?
There's a big hope.
They're near the water, and to be quite honest, they're near the community as well.
That's right.
So Olga, once again, this is such a lovely space that you run here with your daughter and others, and you also have a gallery downtown on 5th Street that our people can visit. But here we're asking the question, where is God in the painting? And you've shown us some obvious religious symbols that are easier to read, they're right from the Bible. Others are a little bit more surreal, and then we have nature as well. But always you found God, spirituality in the painting.
This is the only way any work, and especially artwork, can be created.
So now we are going to ask you to take a look at the artwork in your homes and ask the same question. Where do you see God in your art? Where do you see God in your paintings? And if you find a special piece in your house that really speaks to you, where God has spoken to you, I want you to take a picture of that art piece or that painting and send me a copy, but just write one sentence where you see God in the painting. Olga, once again, thank you for having us here in your beautiful gallery. Thanks for joining us on the Sunday Forum.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.